Well, welcome to what can only be called a show. I'm your host, Liz. I'm joined as always by my co-host, Marcus.
That was about as long as all the women's matches combined on Raw today.
Nice. Dab on the haters. Or women, I guess. You good? Okay. Happy Raw Day.
Want to talk about something else?
I'm talking about my shirt. I got the Adam Cole Street Fighter shirt. Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
I'm in love with it.
Very cool. It's cool that the only size they had was a small.
I'm a small. To be fair, this is a very long small. Like, it goes over my hips. I am not that short of a person.
Instead of talking about Raw today, you want to talk about the season finale of Ted Lasso?
No, actually, I want to talk about that less.
Oh.
I'm mad about that.
Well, oh god. I guess we have to talk about Raw then.
Raw.
So Raw was not good. We had the Queen's Crown matches, we had the King of the Ring matches. The Queen's Crown matches never went past 3 minutes. Meanwhile, the men's matches were booked fantastically for the most part. Jinder shouldn't have won over Kofi, but that's its own thing. What else happened today? 2 Can They Coexist matches happened. And of course, the answer was no, they could not coexist.
I couldn't even pretend to coexist.
Yeah. 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 Bobby Lashley had a bad promo. What was the match where the 24/7 people interrupted?
Austin Theory versus Jeff Hardy.
Well, that would have been a really good
Once
match.
again, we've jobbed Jeff Hardy out.
Jobbed Jeff Hardy and ruined a potentially great match. There's only one great match today. The rest were just fine or bad. One of them was a little fun. That was it. Mansoor and Mustafa are broken up.
I'm mad about that.
They are making room for yet another jumbled together tag team. One thrown together tag team. God, this is just not good. Not good at all.
It was not. It was bad, in fact. One might say it was so bad that it was really bad.
I wouldn't say it was really bad. We've gotten really bad Raws before. This one was just not good. There have been worse. There have been worse. Like, yeah, there have definitely been worse. But before we get into deep with our recap, Liz, you want to talk about the news?
Ooh, I've got lots of news for you. Let me just quickly.
So I'm feeling a little sick, by the way. Like, my nose has been runny. A little bit. While we were watching Raw, at least. It's stopped since then, but what?
Well, somebody is being quarantined the fuck out of this home.
What are you talking about? It's not a symptom.
You never know. It's rapidly evolving.
It's not a symptom.
I had a runny nose, but that's because I ate really spicy salsa.
See, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. Missed out. Now my stomach hurts. Anyways, lots of news. I've kind of made this so it's gonna be easy to get through, but I can't promise anything. First things first. Julia is going to be returning to Stardom.
Well, that's good.
I don't know why when you cough, my instinct is just to say bless you.
The way I inhale before doing it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because she's been out for a month with a neck injury. But apparently she's been doing a lot of saunaing and weight training, so.
I watched the clip that resulted in her injury, and it is not good, and shit looked painful.
I did not see it, actually. But also I don't think I want to see it, because neck injuries stress me out.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
Also, speaking of... Not really. Well, I guess speaking of injuries, Will Ospreay is resurfaced and is going to MLW for a little fun times. Obviously not leaving NJPW, but spreading the cooties, if you will. Stand him.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what he's like as a person, he's gonna put on some great matches. I know Daniel Bryan wants to fight him, or Bryan Danielson wants to fight him.
Yeah, I knew that. I think a lot of people want to fight him, and I think it's because he's like really big now. So
yeah.
Yeah, so he's making that debut next month, and then Cain Velasquez is try that again. Cain Velasquez is
third time's the charm.
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez is what?
Cain Velasquez is set to return for AAA's upcoming event. They shared the announcement after at the end of Heroes Immortals. It's not confirmed what the name is and when it's going to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
But he's set to return for this December, I believe.
Cool.
Should not have taken that much effort.
I also have a little bit of news too. I don't know if you have it about what's happening internally in WWE.
I don't have it, but this is not yet the moment for it.
Okay.
I will tell you when it's the moment. Let's see. Awesome Kong is going to be inducted to the Impact Hall of Fame. They announced that at the Knockouts Knockdown tournament or pay-per-view. It's really cool. And it appears that there are some rumors that Nick Gage could potentially end up returning to AEW. AEW, sorry. Apparently, these rumors have been started by Nick Mondo, who said that he thinks that because AEW is much more open to doing hardcore stuff, that there's a good chance that Gage will take his talents there too, which doesn't shock me. I mean, GCW is getting so goddamn massive, it makes sense that he would be out there, like a missionary, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, hey T-Rex. Welcome to the stream. Um, I mean, I very much enjoyed Nick Gage's match against Chris Jericho. It was like that was probably the best match of the whole Pillars thing. Um, or the Trials of Jericho.
I'm
Um,
not big on death matches, so I cannot agree with you on that, but
well, I think the way AEW and Impact do death matches really well. It's not too bad. It's not too bloody, not too gory. It's not violence just for the sake of violence. Um, there's a nice middle ground they reach, and I think bringing Nick Gage to AEW it'll add a lot to that scene. Because there are some really good matchups that could happen, like him versus Lance Archer, him versus Sammy Guevara would be pretty cool. Maybe him and Miro. I definitely think that he could add a hardcore touch to AEW. And I know they won't cross that boundary because they still have to play nice with TNT.
yeah. And I don't think it's going to get much easier with TBS.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. They might even just save it for pay-per-views then in that case.
Yeah. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a little spoiler that you might also not want to hear.
What is it for?
This is for the tag match with Lucha Bros and Andrades.
I think I've already heard it.
Okay.
I think.
Um.
Is it a?
Well,
It's not straight up revealing them, right? Because I think I heard the same thing.
it is straight up revealing them.
Oh, then I don't want to hear it.
Okay. So I'll go like this for the entire time that I'm talking about.
I could hear you through the wall, so.
I'll talk really close to the mic. How's that?
Okay. And let everyone know with this too.
Okay. When I put my thumb up, I'm done talking about the spoiler, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So if you don't want to hear it, don't listen. However, after their match at Heroes Immortal against Laredo Kid and El Hijo del Vikingo, they were confronted by Dragon Lee and Dralistico. So that might be who it's going to be because they challenged the Lucha Bros to a future match. So who knows? I see. And we're good. Did you hear that?
No. Was it a rumor or is it like confirmed? Just for the sake of everyone who listened.
It is something that happened at the AAA event.
Oh, okay.
So it's recent.
I didn't hear what you said, so I'm going to hope and pray that the two people that Andrade brings out are Dragon Lee and Bandito. I can almost guarantee they won't be, but that's who I'm holding out hope for.
Okay. Also, Ring of Honor have announced another pay-per-view. And apparently, I know that Ring of Honor said that they didn't have anything scheduled for fans for the rest of the year, but that seems to be a lie. I'm assuming, because Final Battle is going to be taking place on December 11th, which is a Saturday, from the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena in Baltimore. I don't know if they're selling tickets. They are selling tickets, so I guess they are going to have fans once again this year, which is awesome because we thought that they weren't going to.
Yeah. I think Final Battle is one of their big ones.
Yes, it is. Um. Okay, so just trying to like keep up with like what's WWE and what's not. The last non-WWE piece of news at this point is that Bobby Fish apparently wanted to be a player coach prior to his NXT release, and that was turned down. He was talking to Chris Van Vliet when he told that story. And I guess he kind of wanted to go down the Fit Finlay route, and he was not allowed to, which I think is just so stupid because Bobby Fish seems like he'd be a really good teacher.
Yeah, and I mean he's only getting older, so he's already at like an age where he should start slowing down.
Not necessarily, because as I just learned, NJPW has a swath of men that are older than Bobby Fish.
I think that's because NJPW they go a bit slower and more delicate when it comes to their style.
As long as Bobby just makes sure he doesn't call his spots as loudly as he was doing in NXT, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And
when I say slow and delicate, I'm not saying everything's slow and delicate, obviously.
No. Yeah. I don't know. It depends. It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get some WWE stuff out of the way, and then we'll talk about your piece of news, because that seems a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Did you say it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So Stephanie McMahon has been inducted into the International Sports Hall of Fame. I wanted to do that at the same time as the Awesome Kong news, but it doesn't work out like that. So that's good for her. There's also news that the WWE, which has effectively split, I think, 5 or 6 tag teams recently, had the intention to split AJ and Omas before the draft, or I think during the draft. But apparently, people of power basically came down and said no, because they don't think Omos is ready to be a singles guy.
Bless those people of power, because I agree.
I don't think he can cut a promo well.
I mean, I watched him in it was an Up Up Down Down video that he was in, where he was like he's good with words, but yeah, I don't think when it comes to like promo ability he is quite there yet.
Yeah, I mean, talking to your friends versus talking to a camera is very different.
Oh yeah. And as we saw from today's match, AJ is still like teaching him, or still developing with him.
Yeah. I just think that's interesting, especially the way that they said people of power.
Yeah.
Because it very much sounded like the hand of God came down and was like, no.
Was it the same hand of God that destroyed the turnbuckles?
Maybe. All right, this is my last piece of news. WWE's referee Sean Bennett, who reffed several matches tonight, announced that he's gay because it's National Coming Out Day, which is awesome. Yeah. And I'm excited for him. I love learning about the referees. So congratulations to him. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Also, T-Rex mentioned you should give him a mouthpiece or a manager if they do have him go solo. Yeah, they could do that.
I think that'd be a great idea.
The only thing is, I don't think he is he can't really vary it up in the ring very much. Like, even his wrestling isn't very developed.
The thing is, as we've seen so far, he doesn't have to do that much in the ring.
Yeah.
His matches are never that long.
Right now.
And on top of that, it's just he's like, who can honestly challenge him at this point?
Right. Until we get the RKO that knocks him down, which is 100% how this is going to go.
Sure.
What I think they should do is have him as the heater in a trio. You know, reform Balor Club, he's the heater, and you got Finn and AJ to carry the weight. And
That is
Omas
an
is there. He doesn't come out as often as he would with just AJ. So you can use him sparingly.
option.
Um,
You can go
so
ahead.
my piece of news is, according to Fightful, there is significant frustration among WWE wrestlers and staff about the booking of the women's division and Queen's Crown tournament.
Your way.
And Fightful also adds that Liv Morgan was originally scheduled to go over Carmella, but plans were changed at the last minute, and that the booking and treatment of the women's division is what the women feared would happen within the division when the talent relations turnover happened, when Johnny Ace got rehired and Carano got fired. It's almost like everyone fucking hates Johnny Ace because a lot of people came out against Ace. Like, I feel like if that happens, maybe something should be done.
Yeah, I can say it until I'm blue in the fucking face, and I'll probably say it 15 more times tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have been complaining about this. And they continue to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck? I mean, we had a match tonight that, like, even the women's match tonight, the Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bianca match, that was a joke.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, like, oh, it's okay to, like, shit on Shayna, but, like, the four horsewomen and Bianca, don't do that. But it's like,
unless you are one of the four horsewomen or Bianca, you don't get a match that lasts longer than 5 minutes.
yeah.
Rhea Ripley too, maybe.
Yeah. Even that one, I don't know.
And yeah, it's back and forth now with her.
I mean, at this point, Rhea has to deal with somebody that she visibly hates.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're just supposed to accept it like it's normal.
Yeah.
Anyways. That's all the news I have. I saw that Sean Ross Sapp said that he had some news about SmackDown and people weren't going to be happy about it. Or he said that was going to make some people upset. And I don't know if that was it or not.
Is it that they're planning to split up the bloodline?
Oh,
I'm just guessing.
I don't know what the news was. I could not tell you. I knew what it was. I wouldn't have brought it up. Well, I would have brought it up, but in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I saw somebody comment that we're gonna be getting two women's revolutions in the span of 6 years.
Wouldn't you call this a women's de-evolution?
They're gonna call it Women's Revolution 2. But it's gonna be Women's Revolution, but the R in Revolution is a 2.
Is that like genuine news?
No.
Oh. You said it so seriously. I was like,
Also,
so
today is Taz's birthday.
oh, good for him. He wanted everyone to know that the picture that they used for his AEW happy birthday post, he has lost 10 to 12 pounds since then.
Good for him.
He retweeted and made a very specific note. So we spoke about this briefly. Do you want to try out going over the matches differently, or do you?
I mean, we're just gonna focus more on conversations rather than summary, or rather than the details with the matches and promos. Which we'll test it out for, maybe a couple. See how we flow.
I'm nervous about this because I don't know if I'm gonna be.
Just talk to me. That's all you. Just talk to me. That's all you gotta do. You? Yes, that's all you gotta do is just talk to me.
Okay.
You should be talking about this before the podcast started.
I like to be transparent.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we started off with Drew McIntyre coming out. God, I don't want to read everything he said verbatim, but basically, he kind of sums up what's happening in today's episode, which they've been doing a lot. Or, not a lot, but like in the past week or so, they've been having the first person come out and basically detail everything that's happening in the episode. Somebody did it on SmackDown too. I think Becky did it.
I'm not sure, but I know what you're talking about.
Let me see. So, okay, so SmackDown. No, it wasn't on SmackDown. Maybe it was just the last Raw that this happened, because SmackDown started with the contract signing.
Yeah, no, it was the last Raw.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, okay. I'm trying to find where it was specifically, but I don't want to spend too much time doing this.
That's fair.
Alright, so yeah, Drew comes out. He sums up what's happening on Raw today. I almost forgot what show this was. He says this is his last opportunity before he goes to SmackDown, and he starts to tell a story, and then Biggie comes out. They go back and forth, yelling about having the match, who's gonna win the match, etc., etc. They have like this mutual respect thing going on, and Drew mentions that he didn't have his moment in front of the crowd like Biggie did, and Biggie is just like, yeah, it felt amazing, but I'm still gonna be the champion. Then the Usos come out and make their appearance on Raw. They're kind of messing with Drew and Big E, and they're saying that they're here to kind of scout Drew and Big E for Roman, because whoever wins the Crown Jewel is gonna have to face Roman at Survivor Series. And then we get a match between the Usos and Drew and Big E tonight. And now we go to Gorilla before Xavier Woods versus Ricochet, where the New Day and Kevin Patrick is asking them how do they feel about, or what would happen if the two have to face each other, and they just laugh and walk out. Then we get Xavier Woods versus Ricochet, the only great match of this whole episode.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of upset because I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it. But I heard that Ricochet looked amazing. I was so busy taking my notes that I actually did not see that much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty incredible. If this is the Ricochet we're getting going forward.
I mean, I feel like this is always the Ricochet that we've been getting. They've just been putting him in better spots. Booking him just a little better.
I guess if he's got better chemistry with Xavier, that makes sense.
Yeah, I know him and Ricochet are friends, but there were a lot of like moments of like counters back and forth in the match.
I mean, the beginning of this match, they straight up were just exchanging wrist locks, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ricochet would get one, Xavier would kind of bounce out of it, he would get one on Ricochet, and it just kind of went back and forth. And that's when I was kind of like, are we doing this all match.
Yeah. But this is exactly what I've been saying with what WWE needs to be doing is bookend your shows. Start with a great match that doesn't have too much consequence, and end with another great match that is your highest consequence match. It doesn't have to be your greatest match, it just has to be the highest consequence one. And albeit today there wasn't really any consequence to any of the matches, but maybe that's for the best.
I mean, I think that this had a consequence. It was you don't.
I mean, more so like a title match, because with 4 King of the Ring Queen's Crown matches happening, you gotta. It will be tough to prioritize one over another.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think that Woods was gonna win this one. Actually, I did, like, going into it. I was like, yeah, of course. But then we like went into it, and I was like,
you didn't think Xavier was gonna win?
Well, what I'm saying more so is that Ricochet looked so good that it was kind of a question.
He's probably pulling a Drew. Show off your stuff before I win.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say, so you go ahead.
Yeah, no, Ricochet ended up eating the fucking top rope, basically.
What was the finish of the match? Maybe we could just say that for all the matches. The finish.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I wanted to touch on like some things that happened in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Woods got a really sick set of offense where it was like he basically took Ricochet, threw him onto the top of the rope, stomped him on the back, and then came back from the other turnbuckle with a leg drop.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of when it started turning.
Yeah. Woods is too fucking good. He's too good for being like booked in the way that he is. Because he was either the mouthpiece of the New Day, kind of like the shit stirrer, or he was like underbooked in tag team division.
Yeah. And it seems like at this point the New Day is basically carrying Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Hurt Business doesn't quite exist.
Well, no, it does. I think MVP just wasn't here today.
But what I'm saying is we haven't gotten Bobby, Cedric, and Shelton in the same room.
Yeah, we did. We got that last week when they came out, and we got them reunited in the ring. Yeah, that was last week.
I'm just saying we haven't gotten any promos with them in the same room. How's that? Like, backstage promos. How's that?
Yeah. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. It was 1 or 2 weeks ago. Why?
Why do we keep doing this? But basically, so the finisher was just a drop elbow. That was it. It was Ricochet sent Xavier ringside. He dove out onto him twice, and then the third time Xavier sidestepped him, threw him back in the ring, and then just plunked down onto him.
Real shame we're not getting Woods versus Kofi. They could have done something interesting for once.
They probably could have given us a banger of a match. Especially if it ended with like a handshake. We rarely get handshake matches anymore.
It would be a hug. And you know for a fact, Crown Jewel between Biggie and Drew, that's going to be like a handshake thing.
After today, I don't know about that one.
It'll be fine. They're just big, beefy men. Slapping meat, yeah.
Yeah, overall, I think this was a pretty decent match. A really decent match. In comparison to literally the rest of the schlock that they gave us today.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so then we had Randy and Riddle backstage. Riddle says, hey Randy, I've got some new moves. And then he said that he challenged Omas to a one-on-one match. He's like, so what's the plan, dude? Randy's like, there is no plan. You're on your own on this one. It was a one-time thing last week. And Riddle says something about snakeskin Speedos.
He says something about how they're both getting matching snakeskin Speedos, and Randy looks like he's going to strangle.
Yeah. So then we get Mustafa Ali and Mansoor versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, aka the Hurt Business. The match was too short. This was way too short for all the talent in it. They're jobbing out Mustafa and Mansoor now, just for that crown jewel match.
First of all, Mustafa versus Cedric. Incredible. Incredible edible eggs. But
I forgot they were friends.
yeah, I know. It seems like that was like last century.
Yeah.
Shelton is an incredible wrestler, a veteran. Mansoor is just this shiny little object that
Mansoor
cannot fail.
was put over as undefeated for 50 matches.
You have a lineup of incredible wrestlers, and you gave them
2 minutes?
Is 2 minutes the right number? I wouldn't.
Maybe less than 2 minutes.
It may have been a little more than 2 minutes, I think. It was not good. It was fragmented. It was very jumpy. Maybe part of that was due to like camera work, but this match,
Wait, you mean the amazing Kevin Dunn camera work that we get every single week?
Yeah, this week it just wasn't going well for me. Just this week, though. Never the other weeks.
Well, that's your fault.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember that next time. Yeah, I mean, it just, nobody shined. Nobody looked good. And basically, we got a nice finish in the Michinoku Driver to Mustafa, but outside of that, we got nothing. We got pain.
Yeah.
It's really what we got at the end of the day here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last week was like the same thing. Could have had Angel and Umberto versus Mansoor and Mustafa in a really great match. But no, it was still very short.
And I just, I know Sean Ross Sapp said this, but it's a 3-hour show. What are, like, why are we acting like we, like, I understand wanting to showcase all of your talent, but, and I was thinking about this recently, and I'm gonna feel bad saying this because it's the same old AEW WWE thing, but you know how people always talk about AEW's got a lot of factions. That's why they've got a smaller roster than the WWE. A solid, I think, 15, 20 some odd people, if not more. But because there's always these factions, people come out with their other people. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw Chuck Taylor in a match. But I remember the last time I saw Chuck Taylor.
He had an elevation match today.
Okay, well, I didn't watch Elevation.
But yeah, like, having factions gets wrestlers doing something when they otherwise wouldn't be. Like, TH2 wouldn't be doing shit if it wasn't for them being in HFO. The Bunny and the Blade and the Butcher wouldn't be doing shit if it wasn't for them being in HFO. Wheeler Yuta wouldn't be doing shit if it wasn't for
The Bunny
being
would be, I think. That's beside the point.
Possibly. But like, it just gets people doing it. It alternates matches, varies things up. Like, there's no, I don't know. I think with the amount of talent that WWE has, they could pull off some great factions. Bring back Balor Club, have Balor, AJ, and Omas. Hurt Business you already got. The Bloodline you already got. The New Day is their own thing.
Well.
Bringing Naomi into the Bloodline. Maybe at a...
you got Hit Row coming up.
Hit Row. Legato.
It's just the easier way to get people screen time without needing them to wrestle.
Yeah.
And then it still feels like, oh, we've had this varied experience, but we haven't really.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it saves us from having 2-minute matches.
Yeah. Like, bring back the Authority. I mean, we can't bring back Wyatt family. But, you know, I don't know. I feel like they're not doing a good job showing good relationships with people. They're showing a lot of bad relationships, like feuds and anger and aggression and all that. They're doing a fine job showing that. Show people bonding. Show people being friends. Xavier Woods talks about this all the time on Up, Up, Down, Down. Friendship makes good wrestling. That's why the New Day have been so successful, because they're all friends and they show that bond with each other over and over. It's why today, up until the very end, Drew and Biggie were fun to watch. It's because they had good chemistry, they were getting along, they were friends, they respected each other, and then things fell apart and it turned to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, you know what this comes down to? Storytelling.
Yeah.
All comes down to storytelling, and that's what they're not doing anymore.
They should
They're
turn
getting stories.
They should turn Alpha Academy into an actual faction. Gable, Otis, Gable Steveson, Bianca Belair, and maybe one more. But that could be a good faction you have right there. All like very athletic, you know, Olympic athletes. And Otis.
Is he not?
Oh wait, maybe he was. I don't. Was he maybe like a weightlifter or something? Power lifter?
Okay, so I don't want to look up the elevator company.
No, don't do that.
I don't think they've ever been in the Olympics.
Well, maybe as a sponsor.
He was a prospect for the 2018 Olympic Games team, but was not chosen.
There you go. Have your Olympic athletes in one faction. Alpha Academy. Or maybe Alpha Athletes. Boom.
Yep.
Did you a favor, WWE?
Job done.
Although
hire us.
I'm a fan, so they won't hire me.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to explain that to a person who does not watch WWE, and she was like, that makes no sense. And I was like,
yeah.
I know.
All right, so then we go right into the first Queen's Crown match of the night. Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke.
Woo! Yee! This was an experience, huh?
I thought Shayna had two cool moments. I guess one of them also involves Dana.
Okay, so what was it when she...
It was the moment when Shayna was like, she does this like a little bit when she like tries to scramble and like grab a hold of the other person and then just ends up kneeing them in the face. She does such a good job with that. Like her frustration in trying to grab a hold of somebody that she just knocks him out instead.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was literally just the cover. The way she brought Dana's leg all the way up to her face.
Yeah. That was a bit bonkers.
Yeah. Those two moments are the only reason I didn't give this like a 2 or a 1 out of 10.
I'm a little mad that we didn't get a real Kirifuda clutch to finish, though. It's just a pump knee.
Yeah, but you don't need your finish in every match.
Yeah, but the Kirifuda would have like established her in the sense of like, I feel like that would have made her look so dominant over everybody else in this tournament.
But another way to look at it is your finisher is what you resort to if you don't think you can win it otherwise. I think her not using it puts her over even more because she didn't need to use it.
Okay, I think that's a fair assessment.
Really puts down Dana, but you know, WWE doesn't care. Johnny Ace doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, Dana's just, she must have a contract that goes on and on and on. Like if I were her, I would not stick around. Not in a million years. And you would think that they would like her to feature more because she's very Divas era.
Yeah. Seems like what they're looking for right now.
Yeah. I don't get that.
But I mean, if she's still getting paid, then why would she want to leave?
We're not making that pay-per-view money, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah. Alright, so then we had a promo from Charlotte Flair. We got one promo from all of the women in the tag match later. They're all pretty generic. It's just Charlotte going one by one with all of everyone in the match. I don't know, why does Charlotte Flair have a stake in this feud? Why does she care? She's not in the triple threat at Crown Jewel. Like, I mean, I get it. A little bit. Like, if either Bianca or Becky win, then that title's on her brand. But why? Why? I mean,
I think the thing that kind of makes me feel a little crazy is just that why don't Becky and Charlotte just switch titles? It's the same level of superiority.
I don't like that so much because it's just like I didn't like when the Usos, the New Day and Street Profits did it. Maybe have a match or something. I don't know.
I mean, like maybe have like a match to like symbolize something, but one way or the other, what does it matter?
Yeah.
The titles are the same title. It's literally a photocopy, except one has different colors on it.
But I do like the storyline that it's like I could be a double champion. Like that's kind of what they're pushing with Becky and Charlotte. I don't know if Sasha and Bianca have been saying it, but
you won't be a double champion. Because you're just fighting two girls for your belt. You're not fighting Charlotte for her belt.
no, but the thing like I guess if the only way Charlotte would be a double champion is if Sasha won the title.
Right. Or if she had any pull in the actual match. And it makes no sense for her to make these comments now because that's a hypothesis based on a hypothesis.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. This shit's making me like a little crazy. You know why they're doing it? The only reason they're doing it is because it's making them money. The draw.
Yep.
I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Alright, so then we get Riddle versus Omas.
Alright, so let me tell you why this match fucking sucked.
If not thinking about comparisons at all, I liked this.
Right. For what it's worth, it was a decent match for its purposes.
Right.
However, this match, which was easily a squash. I mean, you had to know straight from the get-go. At the moment that bell rang, Omas was going to flatten Riddle, and he was going to finish standing on him. So why did this match somehow last longer?
Well, it lasted longer because they fit in the story beats. They fit in the story beats of AJ having Omas show off. Like,
here's why it's a slap in the face, okay? Because it was a squash match that lasted less time than actual matches that were not supposed to be squash matches.
Yeah, and they should be. They should be. I mean, it just shows that they should be giving the women more stories, more storylines, more story moments with matches. Like, you could have had Shayna and Dana last longer if Shayna spent a lot of time just trying to brutalize Dana instead of trying to go for the pin.
My favorite part, by the way, at the end of the Shayna Dana match was Dana. I don't know what Shayna did to Dana, but Dana was like leaving the ring, just like shouting back at Shayna, "That was uncalled for." And I was like, "You're in a fucking wrestling match. What do you fucking mean? What?"
And yet she says nothing when Goldberg says he has a license to kill.
Yeah, honestly, Dana, if you're gonna stand up for something, stand up for that.
Yeah, but I actually liked what they did with Riddle and Omas here, because not only did it put Omas over a talent that it seemed like WWE loves, but also it developed AJ's connection to Omas more. It also, like, Omas doesn't kick very much, which is a big thing, and having him kick in this was a big step.
Yeah.
And it just did a lot for their characters. It wasn't necessary either, but it just added a lot more.
I understand what you're saying. I do. I do think for its purposes, this was a good match.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't think it was good. I thought it was fine. It did what it needed to do.
But that's what I'm saying. For its purposes. In terms of what it needed to do, it did it. Great job. Move on. I just think that because of the other stuff that's happening, it made me hate this match. Just like out of like spite.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all part of one continuous episode. Everything needs to complement everything else.
Outside of the Sasha, Bianca, Becky thing, plus Charlotte, I guess, whatever. What storylines are there for the women right now? This is a genuine question.
Shayna being dominant. Rhea and Nikki not liking each other. Or Rhea not liking Nikki. We're counting SmackDown too?
Yeah, I said women.
Then none.
So, okay. Realistically, the only two that we have on paper, if you really think about it, is the belts feud and the most beautiful woman in the world feud.
Yeah. And Carmella's mask.
Well, that's what I mean. That's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
While with the men, we've got the bloodline, we've got...
You don't need to list all of the men's stories. Like,
this makes me want to fucking bash my head into a wall.
It just shows how crucial Alexa Bliss was to all this. Because once she left, everything kind of fell apart.
Is she the Avatar?
No, Eva Marie is.
When the world needed her most,
She
she
vanished.
disappeared. Ah! I feel like I'm going crazy, honestly. I
I
feel
mean,
like
a bad 3 hour long show will do that to you. That's like if Lawrence of Arabia was 3 hours and it was bad, and you had to watch it every week. Imagine watching Lawrence of Arabia every week.
I've never watched it once, but
Imagine
I
watching The
believe you.
Godfather every week.
That would get old really fast.
Now imagine it was bad.
Ugh.
Imagine you watch The Godfather 3 every week.
Oh, you know what I can imagine? That silly Agatha Christie movie that had a bunch of famous people in it on the train. There was a murder.
Murder on the Orient Express?
Yes, that one. I was really excited to see it. I fell asleep at the theater because it was so bad.
Oh, I
If I
liked
had to
it.
watch that, sorry, buddy. I personally did not like it. However, I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't realize that hurt your feelings.
It's fine.
But I feel like that's what it would be like for me.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, continuing with the recap. We then have a promo with Drew and Biggie. Why did we get so many promos between these guys? Why? We didn't need so many.
This one was cute.
This is short, so I'll read it verbatim. Drew asked Biggie, what the hell was that? Biggie says, we're gonna beat the brakes off each other at Crown Jewel, but if we don't figure this out tonight, we'll be in trouble. So for one night, let's let bygones be bygones. Drew says, I guess the head of the table is a little scared of us. Plus, it'll be a hell of a victory. And then Bobby Lashley comes. Oh, you have something to say?
You missed the part where he said that the Usos don't wipe their asses unless they're given the okay by Roman. I thought was
I
very important.
did miss writing that down. But next up we have bad promo from Bobby Lashley coming out by himself without MVP. Basically, he's like, it's so dumb. He's talking about Goldberg and saying that his behavior isn't befitting of a Hall of Famer, how he dresses. He chose a no holds barred because he's tired of listening to him. That doesn't make sense to me at all either. Like, why would you give this man who wants to murder you a no holds barred match where he can do anything he wants? Why would you do that? They're gonna end Goldberg's career. And yeah, it's just that Goldberg can't beat him, so therefore Goldberg will beat him. Then we get a promo from Sasha Banks. It's her turn to say something. This is even less than what Charlotte said. And then we get Jeff Hardy versus Austin Theory.
I'm not. I guess they're pushing Theory.
I guess. I mean, Karrion Kross also beat Jeff Hardy, and where the fuck was he today? He's stuck in a closet now. He's stuck where Alistair was. Like,
I thought Hardy was gonna get the win.
he landed the twist of fate, and Theory buried it.
Which is really just a metaphor for the WWE as a whole, honestly, at this point.
What is with Theory's new like selfie thing?
I think his thing is like he's the cool like jock dude now.
It's dumb.
Like if you took his character in NXT and gave him a brain. Like
it's like
self.
they can't translate gimmicks from NXT well at all. They couldn't do it with Riddle, couldn't do it with Austin Theory. Who else couldn't they do it with? Rhea Ripley. Well, it's got called up. Keith, I guess. Keith didn't really have a over the top gimmick. Viking Raiders. That's who I can think of off the top of my head, but still. Yeah, I mean, and then the 24/7 shit happened. I was like, fuck, why can't we just get a good match?
So, I mean, for those who didn't watch it, what happened basically is he just was kind of grinding on Jeff for a little bit. And the 24/7 guys came through. And Theory was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, yeah, you know what, Austin? For once I agree with you. What the fuck is this?
You could
I can't wait for Gulak.
What?
Wasn't Drake Maverick drafted to SmackDown?
No.
No? Okay. I forgot for a second. I was like, did they draft people in the 24/7 thing to SmackDown?
Reggie's still on Raw.
Okay. I can't wait for Gulak to go back to SmackDown. I hope he does something. I'm praying.
Yeah. Well, like this could have been a great match. This really could have been. Jeff's trying to rediscover himself. Theory's a great wrestler. Just let the match happen. Oh my, or save it for next week.
Also, can I just say something here?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a financial decision or a something decision. It's a weird choice to use your stars as jobbers. And I'm just thinking about this now. It's a very weird choice to do that because you really should, as a company, want everybody that you have in your company to look pretty goddamn fierce.
It was.
So why would you just use some local fucking talent to be jobbers for the day? You know what? No, I'm not gonna. That takes effort.
It was. As Tony Schiavone said on Saturday, Booking 101's right next door. We went to Comic-Con for the AEW panel, and and when they were asked, audience was asking questions, and Tony Schiavone told the guy who was trying to ask something about somebody debuting or some shit, and he just told him, Booking 101's next door.
I like that he kept yelling at people, and he was like, sorry, it's my wife.
Oh god. Never forget when they were asked who they would team with. Adam Cole said CM Punk, and then everyone started saying CM Punk, and then Thunder Rosa even said CM Punk.
The guy who tried to do the obnoxious thing of being like, aren't you dead? That clip made it to Tumblr. And
of course it did.
Out of context, it's kind of funny. Also because, and I didn't notice this, as Adam Cole's finishing answering it, you just see in the video Orange Cassidy's finger coming out of nowhere and poking him, and Cole just goes,
I saw that. The worst part about that was when he was like, but you drank a monster. Oh, just ask if he's dead. Don't ruin the bit. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, do you think Cole's gonna suddenly, move up a storyline because you, some random schmuck in the crowd, brought it up?
Brandon Cutler's not in the crowd with his camera catching all of this. God. Sometimes the fans bug me. But
yeah, I get that.
Anyway, the match sucked. Theory was gonna be good. I mean, I can see he very much seems like a Vince guy. If he was in NXT, he would be killing it right now. He was in 2.0. But yeah, I mean, not much to say about this.
Yeah, I mean, already basically swantoned directly onto the mat, and got rolled up. That's how it ended. Theory didn't even get like any cool offense in, which, as much as I don't like him, it's really good in the ring. And you would think against Jeff Hardy he would be able to show some of that.
It's a really stupid thing to not utilize the talent that he has, especially for the live crowd. Like, it's one thing to disappoint your TV crowd, but you're also disappointing your in-person crowd who paid so much money to be there, and you're giving them 2-minute long matches. Anyway, oh god. Anyway, my elbow slipped off the armrest. So then we get a promo from Bianca. She's basically saying the same thing. She's saying that Charlotte, she says being ruthless is what it takes. It means cheating. Yes, she doesn't cheat. It's just lame stuff that all these 4 women are going over.
There was some irony to Charlotte suggesting that she take the 2 women's titles and make them into one. I was like, they might be okay with that, Char. Honestly.
I mean, they should unify all the titles.
Unify one big one?
Well, no, I mean unify the women's titles, unify the men's titles, unify the tag titles. Less titles.
They're not going to do that unless the brand split ends.
Or make one big title. One big title. Also, did you know that all of Impact's titles are genderless? Or intergender?
It doesn't shock me, because, I mean, we've seen mixed matches before.
I think...
and more regularly than I would have ever expected.
There's some kind of, like, battle royal happening. Call your shot. Something or other. Which is like Royal Rumble style, except for the last 2 has to be one with pinfall or submission, and it's like entirely intergender battle royal, and you can call any title you want.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Impact is just something else.
I want to see Jordan Grace challenge fucking Josh Alexander, Christian Cage, whoever wins that.
Yeah.
All right, so then we get, before Jinder vs. Kofi, we get the New Day and Gorilla. Kevin asks the same question. They both leave. Then we get Jinder versus Kofi, King of the Ring. This was disappointing.
Man, oh man, Shevitz. Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it for very long, since I don't think WWE wants to either.
Yeah, nobody looked that good today in this.
Yeah.
Thought it would be very difficult because it's Kofi and Jinder. And they're 2 strong wrestlers.
Jinder not as much as Kofi, but yeah.
Each his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kofi, so the thing I had a question about was when Kofi went for the Trouble in Paradise, but ended up falling on his head.
SOS.
Alright, yeah.
I mean, Corey tried to make up for it by saying Jinder used some kind of DDT. But I think Kofi just botched that Trouble in Paradise, or SOS. Now you got me doing it.
Yeah, I don't. Oh boy, you know,
We don't have to go through this match very long.
Yeah. Basically, the beginning and the end of it. Not really. The ending of it was just Kofi was setting up for his finish. Shanky interfered. Xavier took him down. Veer took Xavier down. Kofi got rolled up, broke free of it, and went off the ropes right into Jinder's arms, and then was slapped into the mat with the claws. Which was disappointing.
Could have gotten
As hell.
Could have gotten Kofi and Xavier, but no. No.
I think what's the positive here is that I think this guarantees Xavier's going to the finals because Xavier's going to come through on Jinder like, you hurt my boy. Now it's time to pay.
Or Jinder's going to win because they want a heel to face Finn. Yeah. Because Sammy's not winning. Because he can't go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Shit, I didn't even think about that. Why can't we just have face versus a face?
Oh, Liz. Oh, Liz.
Got Drew versus Biggie. And Drew doesn't turn heel.
Oh, Liz. There's still one more Raw. Anything can happen.
This sucks, man.
Drew can come out next week with a gun.
That's Goldberg. Goldberg has a license to kill.
You're right. Drew's got his sword.
There you go, yeah. He wanted to use it on somebody.
Yeah. Alright, so then we have a promo from Becky Lynch. She basically talks about the same thing. Then we get Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Ooh, mama, this was a howler of a match. By that I mean it was not good. So not to fall back into old habits here, but where we start is Becky versus Sasha, except Bianca pulls her back, and then it's Bianca versus Becky, but then Sasha comes back and is like, no. And then Bianca shoves Sasha into the corner, and Becky shoves Bianca into the corner, and then it's a fucking brawl. It's horrible. There's 3 referees, and none of them can get control of the situation. It doesn't stop until Adam Pearce and Sonya come out, and they're like, ladies? Like, what the fuck did you think you were doing when you booked this match?
Just book a fatal 4-way. Have Charlotte be the deciding factor because she's not in the triple threat of Crown Jewel. Either she pins someone or she gets pinned. It would be best if she pinned someone because she's the champion of that brand. But like, stop with the can they coexist matches. It's so lame.
It's especially when like the answer is no, they can't. It is literally always no, they cannot coexist. The only time that I've seen in recent times a can they coexist match that worked out was Drew and R-Truth.
What about Nikki and Rhea?
They ended up as a tag team, so it doesn't count. In my head.
I think it still counts. Yeah, it ends in DQ, so since when was attacking your own teammate a DQ?
Maybe like the ref was like, I'm not fucking doing this again. Like and it wasn't the worst match in the world before that.
No.
It was, all of the ladies looked really good.
I liked Charlotte being a bitch, just being an asshole to Becky.
At one point Charlotte decided that she wanted in. So she stood up on the ropes and just swatted at Becky incessantly. Until Becky turned around and was like, fuck.
You can tell Charlotte is there for the crowd. She's not there for the cameras because the volume she speaks at, it's so that the people in the crowd can hear her. It's not so that the cameras can hear her. She wants to be heard by the crowd, and that's why she stands out above a lot of other women wrestlers and wrestlers in general.
Yeah. Um. Basically, after like, also, Bianca was a shit disturber in this fucking match. Like more so than I would ever have expected. Because Bianca's whole thing has just been like, I'm focused on the match. I'm focused on what I'm doing. You better be focused on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, out of goddamn nowhere, Bianca jumps into the ring, takes Sasha down, and then basically hits her with a glam slam into the buckles, and that's what DQs the match.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's not even, that's not who she is.
I think even Bianca understood there were no consequences to this match.
Yeah, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Anyway, let's move on from that. We had a promo from the Usos. They're on the phone with Roman, and they're just saying that Biggie and Drew will be at each other's necks by the end of tonight. And then we got Doudrop versus Natalya. And we made bets on this. We made bets on how long this would be. You said
Yes.
2 minutes, 20 seconds exactly. I said 4 minutes. I had a little faith in Natalya.
I, in theory, was the closest.
2 minutes, 59.
Not a bet I really wanted to win. And Natty was weird in this one. Natty was a little strange today.
She slapped Doudrop's ass.
So first of all, she slapped her across the face like hard, like under the guise of like, my family paid for the like to have this ring or like some shit like that. And it's like,
Somebody probably told her you're not acting heel enough, so heel it up more.
and she like clearly did not know what the fuck she was gonna go out there and do.
Yeah.
But at one point she got an abdominal stretch on Piper and like she slapped her like side at one point and then turned and straight up slapped her ass. I was like, HR, I've got a problem. Yeah. Piper ends up rolling up Natalya when she's trying to get a sharpshooter, and that's how she wins. A roll up.
Yep.
Fearsome.
Yep.
And as thanks to Denise Salcedo, because she had the times for all the other matches, we realized that the 4 first round Queen's Crown tournament matches, it lasted less time than Finn versus Cesaro lasted. It was 8 minutes and 7 seconds to Cesaro and Finn's 11 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yep. Alright. Well, then we had, after that, a very weird promo. John Morrison, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Ash are backstage. Morrison's like meditating. He says, I'm tapping into my chi so I can share my thoughts with the world. What? And
That
then
was,
Nikki Ash did what I hate about her character. Is she just said, well, everyone should follow their dreams. It's like, Nikki, not every sentence you say has to be inspirational to the kids.
Also, did you see the picture that she posted?
No.
She posted a picture of her it was like a company photo, like white background, all that shit, of her in like a power suit, basically.
Power suit?
Yeah, a blazer and slacks, matching blazer and slacks.
Okay. Oh, did she have glasses on?
No, it was like, hang on.
I'm just thinking maybe it was like a Clark Kent kind of thing.
Maybe it was like, let me, let's see if I can find it. Okay. So this is the picture.
Hmm.
It says CEO of Almost Superhero Enterprises.
Please don't introduce another lame aspect to this gimmick.
I really thought they were about to. Like, I actually expected to see her out here in a fucking suit today.
I think she just wanted more pictures.
Of her looking like a normal person?
Yeah. Alright, so then, they walk off, and then we get Biggie backstage. He's just interrupted by Theory walking in, taking a selfie. Then we get an interview from Mansoor. He doesn't know what's going on with Mustafa, and then Mustafa walks in. He's like, "You really don't understand. You're a waste of time. I try to help you survive. You want to go out and make friends and dance. You don't deserve to be here." And then just starts railing into him, attacks him, throws him into the boxes, does the ground and pound on him, and yeah, he says he's nothing, and then Kevin Patrick runs back and he's like, "So how do you feel?" Fucking Kevin. God damn it. Alright.
I'm mad about this, honestly.
Because it's breaking up their tag team?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I get that they needed to find like some direction for this team because they seemingly lost it.
Yeah.
But this might not be the most popular thing in the world, but why didn't they just turn Mansoor heel?
Could have.
They should have.
Or they should have turned. They should have kept them the way they were, had them drafted to SmackDown to have a match with the Usos for the title. It didn't work, and that's what turned Mustafa against Mansoor.
It's a waste of a tag team that was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it felt like they were being built up and being built up and being built up, and then it just dropped off. Like, the guy who was writing their story got fired last week or something.
The intern got fired.
God damn it, you poor intern. I'm so sorry, bud.
Alright, and then finally we have Drew McIntyre and Piggy versus the Usos, which was a fine match, but them turning on each other ruined it.
Yeah, because we really had a chance at like, and they coexist, and they could. We really had a shot.
First off, we had a Can They Coexist last week against Dolphin Rude. Why do they need another Can They Coexist? And also, they booked themselves into a corner. You can't have the champions lose, the tag team champions lose, because this is their court. You can't have Big E lose. You can't have him get pinned because he's the champion. You can't have Drew lose because he was the big face of the company. He's former champion. He's the challenger. You can't.
It wasn't smart. This was bad.
Just have, like, I don't know. I don't know. Have, like, Hurt Business. Have Cedric and Sheldon come in and be like, "What the fuck, guys?" Or have Bobby come in. I don't know. Bobby's busy with Goldberg and his death threats, actually, so I don't know.
The most self-aware thing that they could have done would have been like having Cedric and Shelton come in or something like that and be like, why the fuck are you challenging these two guys when you could challenge an actual tag team? They could have done that. There's so many things they could have done.
Just not have the match. Have the women's match be the main event.
Yeah. Honestly. And actually have, like, you know, had a women's match.
Alright, well, thus ends our recap. Stick around for our... What?
I wasn't done.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Oh.
We didn't talk about the match at all. We talked about how much we didn't like the match.
Let's talk about the match.
Well, I mean, we didn't talk about the ending. Which was very specifically just, for no good reason, after Biggie hits the Uranagi onto, I believe Jimmy. Or no, Jay. Maybe Jimmy. Who knows? But after he hits the Uranagi onto one of the two Usos, Drew pulls Biggie off the cover. Which seems not smart? Or sensible?
Drew wanted the pin.
Drew was not even, like, he was busy being beaten up. I don't know. Anyways, that ends in Biggie and Drew fighting ringside. Drew's bleeding. The Usos have a horrible flying out onto Drew and Biggie. Gets counted out one way or the other. It's just not a substantial match in any way.
Yep. So, thus ends the recap. You want to talk about the best of the night?
Yeah.
So, let's talk about promo of the night. Oh god, there are even any good promos?
And if you have a question, you could also leave that in the chat, by the way.
Yes. Leave your question in the chat. We'll get to it after the best of the night. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a question in the comments. We'll answer it in the next one. So, my promo of the night is going to be the Drew Biggie Usos bit in the beginning.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That was fun. Biggie said that the juices of the nectar drip down his chin onto his neck and between his nipples, so...
Betwixt
his nipples. That was great. Alright, you want to talk about Wrestler of the Night?
Yeah.
Xavier Woods. Alright, let's move on.
You're not wrong.
The only reason I put Woods over Ricochet was because Woods had some moments of like screaming about the crown and winning, and adds a lot more passion to wrestling. Ricochet is very quiet.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Alright. Excuse me. Alright, so match of the night. As always, we go from worst to the best. And then Liz will say if she agrees or not. I feel like she'll agree today. So, worst. 3 out of 10. Jeff Hardy versus Austin Theory. Once again proving why they need to get rid of the 24/7 belt. Why they should stop disrespecting Jeff Hardy. And why they should start actually giving a shit about wrestlers coming up from NXT and their gimmicks. Next up, 4 out of 10, Doudrop versus Natalya. I don't know why I give this a 4 out of 10. I don't know. Probably more than it should have gotten. Yeah. And then next up, 4 out of 10, Sasha and Bianca versus Charlotte and Becky. This was such a mess. This was such a mess. It enough of these matches, please. No more. Can they coexist matches? It sucks. These matches suck.
I can't not agree with you on that one.
Then we had 4 out of 10. Dana Basler versus Dana Brooke. Only reason this is a 4, not a 0, is because Shayna need like that moment where Shayna need Dana in the face, and then the pin was cool.
Mansoor versus Mustafa is set for Crown Jewel now.
Figures. And Mansoor's gonna win because they need to have him win at Crown Jewel.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Because they're probably going to wrap up the story and move on as fast as they can.
And
because the intern's gone.
Yeah. Alright, next up, 4 out of 10, Mustafa Ali and Mansoor versus Cedric and Shelton. Why would Cedric and Mansoor? Oops. Super short. It's way too short. Way too short. Way too short. Alright.
Yeah.
Next up, 5 out of 10, Jinder Mahal versus Kofi Kingston. Pretty decent. I mean, it's fine. Didn't like the outcome, but the match itself was just fine. Next up, 5 out of 10, Riddle versus Omas. Yeah, it was a squash, but we got some good character moments with AJ and Omas. And I didn't expect them to have Riddle get squashed like that. Thought at least he would get in something.
I kind of saw this coming.
Next up, 6 out of 10, Biggie and Drew McIntyre versus the Usos. Thought it was a very enjoyable match up until the end. Ending ruined it for sure. Then we have, that's from Strong. 8 out of 10, my pick for match of the night, Xavier Woods versus Ricochet. Extremely fun. Extremely fun.
In my heart of hearts, I want to disagree with you. I want to find something that I'm like, nah, it's this one. There's nothing.
Oh, it was Doudrop versus Natalia, obviously, or it was the hidden match with Rhea versus Dakota Kai. Bet you didn't
Why are you
catch
just
that
gonna
one.
announce her? Imagine, you know what would blow me away, I think? If Dakota Kai is finally announced, but when she comes, she's got purple hair. That would throw me for a fucking loop.
They've been jobbing her out on all the dark matches to Aaliyah and Xia Li.
That sucks.
The best place for her would be to come in to Raw and be managed by Eva Marie. Eva Marie says she has the next protege that she is going to mentor. She's going to manage and lead. That person's Dakota Kai. Don't change her gimmick. You could by having her be super tough badass who's more quiet this time.
Yeah.
But have her be managed by Eva Marie. Not in the way that that Doudrop was. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Eva Marie playing a role that's going to be helping anybody anytime soon.
Yeah, but they have to throw her in somewhere.
It's true.
All right, so running back promo of the night, Biggie, Drew, and Usos have nectar drip down between their nipples, betwixt their nipples. Wrestler of the night, Xavier Woods. Match of the night, Xavier Woods versus Ricochet. All right, you want to answer some questions?
I'll answer a question.
So Miriam asked, have you guys watched the WWE Netflix special Escaping the Undertaker? I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called too. No, we have not watched it. We will.
We are
soon.
going to though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow.
Unfortunately, it came out right before everything like hit the fan for us, as far as like, you know, being sociable.
Before my sister's wedding.
Yeah. Which I forgot we had the Friday SmackDown podcast.
Me too.
I just want everyone to know that from here on out, I will be wearing wired earphones because my dumbass left one of my AirPods in the hotel room. I want to like scream. Anyways, not the point. But no, we haven't watched it yet, but we want to watch it, so maybe we'll watch it tomorrow.
Yes.
Can't be that long.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It'll be fun though. I'm really.
We'll have an
watch
update tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, you didn't change the sign.
You transferred into it way too fast.
Oh yeah, blame me.
I will.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's all the questions we have. Liz, what do we have going on this week?
I'm on my 4th seltzer in like 2 hours.
All right, so tomorrow we have our NXT post show. Wednesday we have.
Why don't you like me?
I am so tired. Wednesday.
Love me.
Wednesday we have our Battle of the Brands right after Dynamite. And then Friday we have our SmackDown post show. Oh, we are not doing a post show for Crown Jewel. We're not.
What time is it?
I don't know. Oh, it's in the afternoon. Like it's like early.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's at noon.
No, we are not.
So unfortunately, Elizabeth has a job at noon.
But you know the good thing is though? We can watch Crown Jewel early on, and then we can watch Impact. We don't have to miss Impact.
Palate cleanser.
Yeah.
You should join me while I work in like the living room, and we can watch it together.
Maybe.
Like 2 friends would.
Maybe. All right. So, do you want to close out the show?
I think you just did my job for me.
Well, yeah, you started talking about your seltzer. All right, so thank you for watching, everybody. Follow and subscribe. Our YouTube is The Pinfall Podcast. You can see all of our past episodes there. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the live show, twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And we'll see you tomorrow for our NXT post show. Let us know what you think about this new flow we have going on. Let us know in the comments or the suggestion box down below if you're watching on Twitch. And yeah, thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.